Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Etheria restart video, and this video is all about getting your account off to a good start, making sure that you're focusing on the things that will really matter, make your farming efficient, and just general progression in that first few days or week when you start at launch. Remember, right now we're in beta, don't stress too much, but this is about getting off to a solid start when the game actually begins on June 5th. And we just want to make sure that we're using our time and resources efficiently. And the first thing that I want to say is don't forget to push story. There are a lot of things to do in this game, and one of them is the main story, and I feel like that one is one of the easiest ones to just forget because there's so many other things you're trying to do, farm gear, do this, do that, try all the different modes. And you'll see that I have a new story quest that is available to me, so I want to make that my first priority, okay? That's going to unlock additional things. You'll just get a bunch of like treasure boxes and things like that. It's definitely worth it to push the main story. Okay, this generally goes for a lot of gacha games, so that shouldn't be anything too surprising. The next thing that I want to point out is a farming technique. So they have like passive farming, or maybe I should be saying like active background farming, however we want to say that. So if I go here to investigation, I can go to this stage that I've already cleared, and then I can go to continuous battle, and then depending on how much energy I have, we'll just, sure, 3 rounds, that's fine, but I could crank this all the way up to 10 in theory. We'll just say start battle, and now this is going to auto battle on repeat, in this case 3 times. Now this doesn't sound like anything special, but what's great about this is that you can do this while farming another thing at the same time. So I'm going to click battle, and then click on this little icon up here in the upper right. It exits. You're going to still keep farming in the background. You can see the counter on battle 1 of 3. And then I can go into another activity. So always be farming 2 things at once. Never just farm one thing. You can farm and progress twice as fast by using this background farming feature. Now, as far as things that I recommend to farming, one of them is investigation. That's what I just went to. This is what's going to give you the experience materials for leveling up your units, okay? And leveling up your units is going to make the biggest difference out of anything in the game, okay? If you're at a lower power level, you're not able to pass something, level up. Now, obviously, when you get to the end game and you're already hitting that level cap, then you need to think about some other things, but just leveling up is going to make a bigger difference than anything else in the game. So do this the most. The next thing I would recommend focusing on is going to the threshold option and farm Doki Doki. And Doki Doki is going to give you your basic gear sets or modules, and most importantly, she's going to give you the Swift Rush set, okay? And speed is king in this game. If you can go faster than your opponents, it's just massively better, okay? It's extremely good in arena, but also for PvE. And again, once you get to the really high levels, you can start to like do some different strategies, but like speed is just extremely important. So Swift Rush is what you get from Doki Doki, and that's what you want to be farming. So do the investigation farming, and then go fight Doki Doki, or put Doki Doki on your auto background farming, and then go do investigation, whichever way you want to do that. That said, once you have like some decent modules for everybody, don't really focus on farming modules too much, okay? The better thing that's actually going to make a bigger power difference is going to be shells, okay? So that's going to be in the Grim Pursuit. And shells are more important than modules overall, okay? The reason for that is because, I'll just click on a random one here. If we go to one of these, you get multiple matrix effects as well as additional abilities from your shells, okay? So in this case, before the owner takes an action, deal 2 hits of 25% plus 900 damage to the target, etc., etc. So you're just going to get a straight up extra ability, whether it's like giving you more time meter or an extra attack or cleansing a debuff or whatever. The shells make a huge difference. Now, you're going to go for different shells depending on what you're building. Budo Panda right here is actually a great early one, and a really even better early one is this guy, Unbridled Science, because this ability that just gives you 30 more turn meter is kind of nuts. Later on, though, you want to try and push to Nico Nana, okay? Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to her yet in the beta because they've had a bunch of network errors, and I literally haven't been able to play half the time. That's a totally separate issue. For actual launch, this is hopefully fixed. But this is going to be the one that you really want to farm the most. unlock her as soon as possible, because you can get to the red level of gear, and these are some really powerful shells, and this is your like highest level of gear that you can be farming. So you can get to her, that's gonna be great. And early on, farm that Shadow Runner. That's gonna get you some great shells. Okay, so now let's talk about crafting star upgrades, as well as just what they do and buying them from the shop. Okay, so if we go to our units, or animus as they're called, you're gonna have different units that will be either like 3-star, 4-star, etc. And then you hit a level cap for each star ranking. So for 4 stars, or rather 3 stars, it's going to be 35, and then for 4 stars, it's going to be level 40, and then if you rank up to 5, you'll hit 45, and if you hit 6 stars, you'll hit your finest level cap, your final level cap, which will be level 50, okay? Now, the way that you do that, we'll use Marvel as an example. If you go to upgrade and then to the star upgrade, you need these prints over here. So for the SR characters, you're gonna need the purple ones, and for the SSR characters, you're going to need the yellow ones. But once you're trying to get to whatever the base star rank of that rarity would be, then you're going to need that type. So if I want to get Marvel to 5 stars, I need the yellow prints, which I would originally have needed to rank up my SSR character. Now, these are very valuable. You want to get them at any time you can. They're not super plentiful, but you can get them from various quest rewards, as well as buying them in the shop. If you see them in shops, pick them up at a high priority. The great news is you can craft them. So you'll see I don't have quite enough. I can do craft, and I can combine these lower rarity ones of blue and purple ones to make more gold ones. Now, this is really important to note, because there are a lot of shops where you can pick up the purple ones. You might be thinking like, I don't really need to worry about that, but you do, because you want to be able to have enough that you can craft the higher rarities later on. Eventually, to get to 6 stars, which we can show with Leanne, you're going to need these red prints, okay? And this is only needed for reaching the final level cap of 6 stars. The good thing is, again, you can craft them, and you don't even need to use yellow ones. It's not like you're restricted to using just like the rarity below it. So again, you can combine all these low rarity ones, bam, and then you can get to that final level cap. So definitely pick up the prints at a high priority, and you can buy them in the shop as well as get them from other rewards. So think about that. It's definitely something that's going to be really useful to you whenever you see that opportunity. So the other thing that you want to do is grind arena. So while you're doing your background farming, okay, you want to be doing arena. So if I go to arena, I guess that's under what, challenge, and then arena realm. You have your 3 different modes. This one only opens up on the weekends, but you have your auto arena over here, where you're just fighting people's defense lineups. You'll have 5 shots of that every day. Make sure you use those up. But you're going to get rewards that will give you currency to buy things in the shop, okay? And here are those star upgrades that I talked about. You can also get pulls from the shop, and you can get skill upgrades as well. These are great resources right here. Now, even more importantly, if we go to the summit arena, I actually could have just gone there from the shop already, but you can get even better rewards. So if we go to the shop, and you can play this as many times as you want. So here you can get fragments for skill upgrades. You can get those star upgrades here, the prints. You can also get pull currency, and you can get your Apex prototype orange currency for pulling the light and dark characters. This is the only way to get these without actually spending money or using your crystals on the rate up banner. So this is extremely valuable right here. This is going to be super, super good. So honestly, the best gameplay in the game is arena anyway. You want to be pushing arena so you can buy those things in the shop, and you'll be having a lot of fun doing it while you're also background farming your levels at the same time. So I find this to be a great strategy to be doing almost from the very beginning. Now, I also want to say, take every opportunity you get to get those orange tickets to pull light and dark characters, just to drive this point home again. If you ever have a chance, make sure you pick them up. There are places that you can buy them in the shop for actual money too. Of course, that's kind of getting into a different discussion, but you know, that's going to be your only other way. Those are really valuable. If you are going to be a spender, you can consider those kind of things. Okay, so the last tip that I'll give you is use those energy refills, okay? So right here, you can see that I can refill my energy. Don't let these sit there wasting, okay? But also, don't just slide this meter up here all the way and dump them all at the same time, because you're gonna be over your energy cap and you won't get the natural refreshes that you will get for every minute that you're sitting there, okay? So once you get low, fill it up, use it, fill it up, use it, etc. And the earlier you use those, the higher value you're going to have, because you'll be able to push further to then be able to farm the higher ranking of things. By the way, it looks like my farming is complete here, and I can get all those resources. So like I said, the sooner I refill my energy, the sooner I can level up and then go to a higher level to get even better experience rewards and so on. You get me? All right. Hopefully this was helpful, guys. This is my plan. This is what I'm going to be suggesting for everybody in my union. By the way, I am recruiting a union so everybody can sign up on day 1 of the official launch on June 5th. If you're interested, we're going to be trying to be semi-competitive. You don't need to be a whale, but you need to be an active player and someone who's going to care about the game. Hit me up on Discord. Link to that in the description below. I'd like to recruit any like existing Nikkei players and people who've been in my union in the past, but I'm also totally open to brand new players. I know there's a lot of people who, you know, came from other games like Honkai Star Rail or whatever that now are going to be interested in Etheria Restart. And hit me up. Let's form a really strong union here. I'd love to have you, but you are required to join my Discord. Again, link to that in the description below. Also, I stream every week on YouTube and Twitch, so I'll see you there later tonight or the next day. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.